Yo, what's going on, buddy? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what I wanted to do is I want to talk about the Cleveland Guardians. The past couple of weeks, they have been hitting a very slow stretch. At the time of recording, they've been losing quite a few games. They lost a couple games against the Kansas City Royals. They lost a couple games against the Detroit Tigers. And right now, they're playing the Tampa Bay Rays, and it's looking rough. Now, the reason why I wanted to make today's video is, as you can see by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about what the Guardians need to do at the trade deadline. Now, the past couple of weeks, even months, people talk about the trade deadline, about what could all these teams in the MLB do, what teams are going to be buyers, what teams are going to be selling. The Guardians, in the position they're in right now, they are probably going to be buyers. The question is, what do they need to go after? Is it pitchers? Is it players? Is it bullpen? Is it maybe like a hitter, fielder? What do they need to go after? And more importantly, how can they kind of fix this cold stretch and get back on track after the All-Star break? So like I said, what I wanted to do is kind of talk about what players could the Guardians possibly go after, what are the problems, what kind of things could they, or players could they go after to fix their issues, and so forth. So before I go any further, as always, all information you're going to be seeing on screen, I'll have links to it all down in the description below if you want to go check it out for yourself. But I'm going to go ahead and get straight into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, starting off, as you can see here from the Guardians schedule, they're having a very rough stretch right now. They're 3-game losing streak. Everything's kind of going to shit, if you ask me. They had a tough stretch against the Tigers. They had some struggles back a couple weeks ago against the Royals. They had a game loss against the Orioles. But before that, they were a damn good team. They were going in like 5-game winning streak, 6-game winning streak, 7-game winning streak. It just seemed like this team could not lose. And then it's like they hit 3-game losing streak, and then it's win, lose, win, lose. Then they've cut 2 wins, and then now it's like lose, 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 lose. The one, I guess you could say, important thing is so far they're still holding their lead in the division. They're 4.5 games up with a couple of games to go until the All-Star break, but that's not going to be as big as the lead that they had a couple of weeks ago when they were like 8, 9, 10 games. Now, what exactly is the problem with this Guardians team? Well, one thing that we need to talk about is some injuries. We got a couple of guys going to the IR. Sam Hedgens, he's going to the IL with a shoulder injury. Kind of going through all the injury news, as you can see here from what's been going on with the Cleveland Guardians. Like I said, Sam Hedgens, he's got some left shoulder inflammation, so he's going to be going on the IL. Xavier Curry, he's getting recalled from AAA, so he'll be coming back up to the majors. Gabriel Arias is going to be going back down to AAA. He's going to be leaving the team because Will Brennan, he's getting activated from the 10-day IL. It'll be nice to kind of see what Will Brennan can do. Gabriel Arias, I'm not gonna lie, he was a good addition for the team. He was getting hits. He could make some doubles, some singles. I believe he hit a home run while he was up there. He was doing some good work. The problem was he was very, I guess you could say, inconsistent. Like one night he'd get 3 hits, the next night he'd go 0 for 4. It'd be better if like he was like 1 for 4 every single night, but then some nights he was 2 for 4, maybe 3 for 5. Like he got more hits through some nights, and it's like if he had a bad night, maybe you will go 0 for 4 one time in a week, maybe twice in a week, but don't do it like 5, 6, 7 days in a row. He was getting to that point. Kind of scrolling down through this list, as you can see, we got a lot of pitchers that are going on the list, and one of the biggest problems with this team, and I'll go and say it now, it's our pitching, and not exactly the bullpen, but the starting pitching. As you can see, Shane Bieber, he went down earlier in the year. He's getting Tommy John surgery, so he won't be back till next year. Trevor Stephan went down, UCL surgery. Daniel Espinito, he went down. James Karachak, he went down. Who knows whenever he's going to come back. And I'm pretty sure it's no surprise. It's the pitching, the starting pitching, that is the biggest weak point for this team. Because no lie, I'm going to go and lay down some facts for you. Our bullpen, #1 in the MLB. It's already out there. Go look on MLB.com. It is the #1 bullpen in the league. So bullpen, check. From Avila to Barlow to Clase, probably the best closer in the league. Hunter Gaddis, Tim Herron. These guys are some studs. Cade Smith. These guys are stud in the bullpen. Problem with the team is the starting pitching. Obviously, like I said, Shane Bieber, Tommy John surgery. He's our ace. He went down, so he's gone the entire year. Tristan McKenzie used to be a really good #2. Where is he? In Columbus on the AAA team, because he can't fucking pitch a fastball more than 92 miles an hour. It's like his fastball is no longer there. His curveball is like nowhere to be seen. Everybody's been saying Tristan needs to get the Tommy John surgery so maybe he can get some of that power back. He's refusing to get it. So now he's going to go down to Columbus and try and see, oh, maybe I could just get better down here. Maybe I won't need it. The other pitcher of ours, Logan Allen, he was sent down to the minors as well. He was sent down there. He's been having some struggles. He has good times at getting wins. That's the thing. He gets wins, but his problem is that offense comes alive when he is on the mound. For some reason, they come alive when he's on the mound. When he leaves, it's like the offense goes dead. So right there, you're already looking at 3 pitchers. Bieber, McKenzie, and Allen all gone. Basically, 3 pitchers that are supposed to be our top 3 pitchers starting the season are now all gone. And somehow this team's still finding ways to win, which is pretty unbelievable. So when you look at the way the team looks right now, Tanner Bybee has been like our starter. He's been our guy. The other guys, Gavin Williams and Ben Lively, they're kind of developing into like some pretty solid starting pitchers. Gavin Williams more or less because he can throw like a 98, 99 mile per hour fastball. Carlos Carrasco, he's not supposed to be a starter. He is a veteran. He's a guy that we probably would prefer to be coming out of the bullpen. But with the way how our depth looks, every guy in here is more suitable to be just a dominant bullpen guy. So we kind of said, hey, Cookie, you want to go start? And he took the advantage of it. Now, real quick before I go any further and talk about some trade deadline rumor or picks that we need to go after. When it comes to the bats, I think we're good. Some people say we need to pick up another bat. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm just saying I like where we're at. Like David Fry, Bo Naylor, they're good at catchers. Austin Hedges, he plays maybe 30 to 40 games a year, so I'm kind of okay with it. Our catchers, I think, are pretty good. Naylor, Jimenez, and Angel Martinez, he has been a stud. Jose Ramirez, Brian Rocchio. Rocchio, his bat is very quiet. That's the thing with him. He is like a Gold Glove shortstop, but his bat is very quiet. Same thing kind of goes for Jimenez. He is a Gold Glove second baseman, but his bat has been very up and down. And then whenever it comes to your outfielders, I mean, Freeman is a stud center fielder. He's a lot better than what we had a couple years ago with Miles Straw, I'll tell you that much. Steven Kwan, all-star starter. What else do I need to say about him? Will Brennan, he's coming back from the Tendai IL, like I said, so we'll see what he kind of is. I liked him last year. People said he should have just stayed down in the minors. I like what he is as a player. He's a very solid player. I think he's going to be the boost that we need. Daniel Schneemann, I think he's a stud. He's going to be a great player for us for the future if we can keep him on the team. And Jackenzie Noel, this dude is a monster. Like, how the fuck did we find him? Like, I'm telling you right now, this man is going to be the secret weapon for us if we ever want to win a World Series. First up, let's talk about who we could go after as a bat. This is the one player where I would say I'd be okay with it if we went after him as a bat, because there are a couple of talents out there, a couple of guys out there in, like, I guess you could say, like, the free agent market, or players that are available at the trade deadline that players have been talked about that could be possibly traded to the Guardians, and I'm on the side of this one player, Bo Bichette from the Toronto Blue Jays. Obviously, you guys know when it comes to trade deadline, there's a lot of players out there that everybody's going to say, go after this guy, but it's going to come with, are you going to be able to give up a certain amount of farm guys? Is there some minor leagues you can give up? If somebody says, hey, do you want this big-time talent over here? Are you going to be willing to give up 2 maybe good players for that really good player? Or are you going to say, fuck that, I'm not willing to give it up? With Bo Bichette, he's kind of on the downward slope. He's been an all-star in the past. He's a great player. He's having a bit of a down year right now, which kind of makes his value important to the Cleveland Guardians and also any other team that might want to trade for him. His numbers are looking a little bit crappy right now, but then again, as it says here, if we can take him and we can maybe teach him to play a little bit better, not the Toronto Blue Jay way, but the Cleveland Guardians way, we might be able to get something out of him. And Bo Bichette, he can play shortstop, he could play some second base, he can play outfield, so we can move him around, and that's what we like to do with our players. We like to move our players around. And as I said with Gabriel Arias, with the way he's going down to the minors, Brian Rocchio, his bat is very up and down. Daniel Schneemann plays some shortstop, so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if we got Bo Bichette, I wouldn't be opposed to it, I would like it. But then again, I look at it as like, Daniel Schneemann's looking like a solid shortstop right now, so if this trade doesn't happen, I'm okay with it. Now, in the world that the Cleveland Guardians need to be living in, and that's going after a starting pitcher, and I'm serious about that. They need a starting pitcher, not a relief pitcher, a starting pitcher. These are the pitchers from MLB.com that has been kind of rumored that they're going to be available at the trade deadline. First up, we got Garrett Crochet, left-hander from the White Sox. He is a solid pitcher. I think he could be a great value because the Guardians, we need a left-hander, so it would be a solid pickup. And it says here he's only making about $800,000, so he's a cheap contract. The Guardians, they're more of a cheaper team, so they could afford that. They could put him in there. And it says here a 1.49 ERA and 11 outings. Maybe wouldn't be that bad to bring him on. Plus, also with the White Sox being a bad team right now, they're not going to be able to. There's no reason for them to try to pitch a deal to him. Be like, come on, come back to us. Why the fuck would you want to come back? Your team sucks. Next up, we got Eric Fede. I think it's how you say it, the right-hand pitcher from the White Sox. Once again, another pitcher that he's got some talent to him. The thing is, he is a more of an expensive deal. He'll probably go to one of the more teams that can actually afford him. The Guardians, I don't think they can afford him. They're going to want to go after like some cheaper contracts. Guys that maybe it's going to be, if they trade for him, it's not going to be a lot out of their farm system. It's not going to be a lot of prospects they have to give up. Maybe even draft picks. It's going to be more simpler things. Now, one of the names I'd willing to give up the farm for, Jack Flaherty from the Tigers. We just played the Tigers, and this dude pitched against, I believe. He butchered us. And I've seen a little bit of what he can do against some other teams, and this dude is a nutcase. This man can pitch anything. Whatever pitch he wants to throw, good luck trying to hit it. Now, the one thing with him is it says here he's getting $14 million for this year. The problem is, for the Tigers, he's a free agent after the season. So the Tigers, they're going to want to try to get him somewhere else. Is he going to want to resign with the Tigers? Maybe not. With his skill set, could he be trying to go for a big bag? Possibly. With the Guardians, I don't think they're going to want to give him the big bag either. But then again, we could look at it like, hey, come to us. So far, we're already halfway through the season, so maybe half that money's gone. The Guardians can pick up the rest of the tab. We can bring them on and say, hey, do you want to come try to go for a World Series title? Come be a starting pitcher for us. And I was kind of looking through the rest of the pitchers, but a lot of the other ones that are kind of more available at the trade deadline, they're going to be some expensive numbers. Max Scherzer, he's going to be an expensive number. Luzardo, he's going to be an expensive number. So it's like you could say, go after these guys. What's the problem? The Guardians owner, he's a little bit of a cheapskate, so he might not be willing to go pay these contracts. I think the one that's kind of funny on here is Cal Quantrill, being a guy that everybody's going to say that, ooh, let's go after him. Why the fuck would we do that? The Guardians had him a couple years ago in the playoffs in 2022. Y'all remember that guy? He sucked. He pitched game 1 and I believe game 4 or 5 of the ALDS whenever we played the Yankees. He was butt cheeks. Realistically, if we were going to go after anybody, Garrett Crochet seems like a very obvious number or obvious pitcher that we need to go after with that number right there. For the money, we can afford him very easily. Anybody in the league can afford him. His ERA is pretty solid for what we need. If we I think when it comes to our pitchers as well, if we can hold a team to 2-3 runs for starting pitchers and also go by 6 innings, the game is winnable. Because with the way our bullpen is, if they do what they have been doing the first 80 to 90 games, this team, if a starting pitcher, go out there, hold them to 2-3 runs max, 4 runs at a worst case scenario, our offense can get those 2 to 3 runs. If they don't get those 2 to 3 runs, then we can look at the offense and say, okay, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like with an offense of Quan, Jose, Angel Martinez, like I said with Jackenzie Noel, Josh Naylor, David Fry, these boys should be getting at least 2 to 3 runs easily on offense. And from there, it just takes a starting pitcher to allow only 2 to 3 runs, and then the bullpen can guide you the rest of the way. And then all it takes is just one crack at the bat, because a lot of these dudes on this team can hit home runs. It just takes one crack at the bat, and boom, you win the game. I'm telling you, the Guardians, they have the key to success. They just got to get pitching. But like I said, the 2 guys, I would say Garrett Crochet is number 1, and Jack Flaherty would be number 2 for me. These 2 guys are the keys to helping the Guardians. If we can get one of those 2 guys, I'd be happy. I obviously think they're going to try to go after more than just one guy in the trade deadline. They're going to try and go after some other pieces. The problem's going to be, how willing is the owner going to be with the money, and then how willing is our GM going to be with trading farm prospects. Now, before I wrap it up, like I said, when it comes to the trade deadline, this is not the end-all be-all for our team. If we don't get anything at the trade deadline, it's okay. Like I said in the beginning, there's a lot of injuries going on. Let's see those guys get back from injury, and a lot of the guys that maybe are not on the injury report, they are probably banged up too. Josh Naylor's been battling some injuries. I think he's got stepped on a few times. His knee's been hurt throughout the year. Jose Ramirez, I think, is dealing with something. There's a lot of guys on our team that are dealing with something. I would say if everybody can get healthy, take the All-Star break, get healthy, and then we can come back and let's get on a roll. Let's start dominating a little bit. Like hell, for God's sakes, you guys are on pace to possibly get a 1 seed in the AL. Let's fucking do this. Now, as I said, do I think the Guardians are going to make some moves at the trade deadline? Maybe, we'll see. But another thing that's happening in July, the MLB draft. We got the first overall pick. Who do you guys think you're going to take? But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully, you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? Are you a Guardians fan? Do you think the Guardians need to go after a certain player at the trade deadline? A pitcher, a bat, a fielder, whatever your opinion may be, whatever player you think they need to go after, leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below. Be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell. Be notified second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.